अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरिं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे अच्युतं केशवं सत्यभामाधवं माधवं श्रीधरं राधितं इन्दिरामन्दिरं चेतसा सुन्दरं देवकी नन्दनं नन्दजं सन्ददे.
So here in this slide stated the first shlokas there, and then we are on the 33rd shloka. Yatha prakashayet ekaha krishnam lokamimam ravihi kshetram kshetri tatha krishnam prakashayeti bharata. So here in this 33rd shloka, Bhagavan is offering one more analogy to say that there is one Atman, and the Anatman is consisting of many, that is multitude or multiplicity is there in Anatman, that is the Kshetram. So Yatha Prakasheti Ekaha Krishnam Lokamimam Ravihi, that is one Surya, that is one sun, illumines the whole of the inert world. Kshetram, Kshetri Tatha Krishnam Prakasheti Bharata. In the same way, this Kshetragna is the one which illumines the whole of the Kshetram, that is the inert Prakriti. That is Prakriti, which is including the Moola Prakriti and the ultimate effect of the Prakriti, that is the world that we are grasping through our senses. So here, what is to be very noted very specially is that the chapter started with the claim that Kshetragna is the one who knows the Kshetra. That is, idam shariram kaunteya kshetramita vidiyate etadyo vetti tam prahuhu kshetragneti tadvadaha. So there the word vetti, the verb vetti was used, which literally means knows. But then coming to the end of this chapter, Bhagavan says that this Kshetragna is not the knower, actually. The Kshetragna is the one which illumines the Kshetra. So that is the one great shift from the first shloka to the end of this chapter. So this is the refined meaning of the word Vetti. That's why in this Advaita, the word Sarvagna, which is used for Ishvara, that is omniscient, the word Sarvagna means omniscient, knows everything. Sarvam janati iti Sarvagna. But then the Advaita Acharyas, they have refined that term to mean not Sarvagna, that is not simply knowing everything, but the capacity to illumine everything. Sarva abhabhasana kshamatvam, that is called Sarvagnatvam. So here also in the same way Bhagavan is saying that the Kshetragna is not the one who knows the Kshetram, but actually Kshetragna is the one which illumines the Kshetra. So that is the very important point that we have to note here also. So here in this Bhashyam, Bhagavad says, Yatha prakashayati abhabhasayati ekaha krishnam lokam imam ravihi savita adityaha. So Ravi is Surya, Aditya. So just as one Surya, one sun illumines the whole of the world, tatha tadvat mahabhutadi dhrutyantam kshetram ekaha san prakashayati. So Bhagavad is giving the concise definition for the word kshetram, which was given in the shloka, in the Gita itself, in this chapter itself, the 5th and the 6th shlokas. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktamevacha indriyani dashekancha panchacha indriya gocharaha ichadvesha sukham dukkham sangatas chetana dhritihi iti kshetram samasena savikaram udahritam. So these are the two shlokas which encompass the whole of the created world, universe. So the subtlemost thing, that is Mahabhutani, Ahankara, these are all subtle things. That is the Panchabhutas, which are the Sukshma Panchabhutas, and the Ahankara Tattva, the Mahat Tattva, and all that. Mahabhutani, Ahankara, Buddhir Avyaktamevacha, all these are in the pre-gross world state, and the gross world state are the Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha, Indrani Dashakancha, there is the 10 organs, that is the 5 sense organs and the 5 motor organs, and Ekam is Antakarana. So all these 11 instruments are used by the Jiva to contact the outside world, and that outside world is consisting of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha. So the Vishaya or the object of the organs are these, that is the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and the whole of the world consists of this. The whole of the gross world consists of this. Because the subtle world, that is the Mahabhuta and the Ahankara and all that, they are not Indriya Gochara. They are all subtle, Sukshma. But in any case, they are also knowable only, knowable through the Shastram. Kaha, so who is the one who knows, or who is the one who illumines all this? The shloka says, Kshetri Paramatma ityataha. Kshetri is Kshetrajna, Paramatma. So Bhagavad Pada is giving the meaning Paramatma for this, because Bhagavan himself has said in the second shloka that the Kshetrajna, which is available in every body, is actually Brahman, that is Bhagavan himself. So Bhagavan himself said, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In each and every kshetra, that is in each and every body, there is this sentient principle, and that principle is nothing but Bhagavan, that is Brahman. So that's why Bhagavad Pada here gives the meaning. Kshetrajna is actually Paramatma. And why do we say that it is Paramatma? Because the body-mind complex, which are wrongly taken to be the Atma, that is actually Mithyatma. It is not Paramatma, but it is Aparamatma. That is, it is the lower grade Atma, because it is definitely something which is to be given up, and which is to be given up as Mithya. So it is, but then Vyavahara, we have been doing the Vyavahara that I am this, I am so and so and all that. So that is why it is called Aparamatma. But then the one who is the real Atma is the Paramatma only. So Kshetri Paramatma ityarthaha. So Ravi Drishtantaha atra Atmanaha Bhayarthopi bhavati. So Bhagavad Pada informs us that this Surya Drishtanta, that is the analogy of the sun, is applicable in this case in a very nice manner. That is, sun is one, and the world that illumines, the sun illumines, is made up of multiple objects and all that. But then, in the same way, the Kshetrajna is only one, even though there are many bodies, and even though there are many, apparently many Sakshi Chaitanyams in each and every body, but then it is only one Atman which is available in these bodies. But then the whole world is full of multiplicity. So here Bhagavad Pada draws our attention to that. Ravi Drishtantaha Atmanaha atra Atmanaha Ubhayarthopi bhavati Ravivate Sarvakshetreshu Ekayeva Atma Alepakascha iti. So there are two aspects. The Surya is only one, and the one Surya is illumining the whole of the universe. And also the Surya, that is the sun, doesn't get affected by the by whatever the sun illumines. The famous analogy given is that even though Surya is the one which illumines the Ganga water and the gutter water, Surya doesn't get any punyam because of contacting the Ganga water, does it get defiled because of contacting the gutter water. So Surya is Alepaka. In the same way, this Atman also is Alepaka. It was stated in this shloka, in this chapter itself, a few shlokas earlier, that even though the Chaitanyam, there is Atman, is available in every body, it does not get affected by the whatever happens in the body. So the body's Sthula Shariram also undergoes a lot of changes, and the Sukshma Shariram undergoes changes through Vikaras, through Raga, Dvesha and all that. But then the Atman is never touched by it. So in the same way, so the Alepakatvam is there for the Atman, Alepakatvam is there for the Surya also, Ekatvam is there for the Atman, Ekatvam for the Surya also. So that way this analogy is so very fitting. That's what Bhagavad Pada points out to. Then coming to the last shloka, Samasta Adhyayartho Adhyayartha Upasamharartha Ayam Shlokaha. So this last shloka is the one which condenses the entire chapter. So what all information we have got through this in this chapter, methods and all the methods for sadhana and all that, and the layout of the whole of the creation into the known and the knower and all that is being condensed in this one shloka. Samasta adhyayartha upasamharartha ayam shlokaha. Kshetra kshetragnayor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduhu yanti te param. So here Bhagavan concludes this whole discourse by reminding us that there are two tattvas, that is kshetram and kshetragna, but actually ultimately in the final analysis there is only one tattvam, it's not two, because the kshetram is going to be discarded as mithya. That's what is being done in this shloka itself, in the second line. So kshetra kshetragnayor evam antaram jnana chakshusha. So the distinction between the kshetra and kshetragna, that's what was being taught in this shloka, because the not knowing that the kshetra and kshetragna are different, that is the cause for this samsara. So that was also stated in this shloka, taking the body-mind complex to be oneself, the chaitanyam. So there is a kind of a unholy mix-up between the kshetram and the kshetragna, which is impossible also. Kshetragna is totally of a distinct nature and kshetram is of a distinct nature. So these two can never ever come together at all. But then they have come together because of ignorance. So that has to be, that was that separation, that separating the kshetragna from the kshetra. It is not the other way. Even though the other way is also valid, but still what is ultimately required is to retrieve the kshetragna from the kshetram. So that's what is required here, and that was taught here. So for that, the nature of the kshetragna has to be known, and the nature of the kshetram has to be known, and only a person equipped with both these this knowledge of the kshetram and the kshetragna, he only can successfully carry out the separation. And for that, sadhana is required, and the qualifications are also have been stated in this chapter itself, like amanitvam, adambitvam, and all that. So here, kshetra kshetragnayoho evam means in the manner taught in the foregoing. Antaram, distinction between these two. How is the distinction to be known? Through the jnana chakshus. There is this eye, that is the instrument eye, which can see the distinction, and this seeing is not physical seeing, it is the understanding, jnana chakshusha. Bhuta prakriti moksham cha. So that's not the whole of it. There is one more thing required, that is bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduhu. So the one who knows that the prakriti is also not real, it is also ultimately unreal. So that also has to be known. So one thing is that one has to know himself to be the kshetragna, that is distinct from the kshetram, and that is one aspect of the knowledge. And the other aspect of the knowledge required for liberation is the knowledge that the separated kshetram is it doesn't exist at all in all three periods of time. So that is also stressed here. So bhuta prakriti mokshancha ye viduhu te yanti param. So they are the ones who get liberated. So that is the meaning of this shloka. So in the Bhashyam, Bhagavad says, kshetra kshetragnayoho yatha vyakhyatayoho. So kshetram and kshetragna, this is a dual number, kshetra kshetragnayoho, dual number, yatha vyakhyatayoho. So kshetram has been explained in detail. Kshetragna also has been explained in detail in this chapter. Evam, the word evam is there in the shloka. In this manner, yatha pradarshita prakarena. So in the way it has been presented to us, both the kshetram and the kshetragna, the way they have been presented to us. Antaram, itaretara vailakshanyam. So vailakshanya vishesham. Antaram means distinction. So itaretara vailakshanyam. These two are totally distinct from each other. So itaretara vailakshanya vishesham, that also has to be known. Jnana chakshusha. So it has to be known through this eye of wisdom. Shastracharya prasada upadesha janitam atma pratyayikam pratyayikam jnanam chakshuhu. So here chakshus is, normally when we use the word chakshus, it is the physical eye. But here that's not the one, it is the jnana chakshus, that is the eye of wisdom, jnana chakshusha. And how that wisdom arises, Bhagavad Pada says, Shastra Acharya Prasada Upadesha Janitam. So the Shastram is required, and the Acharya teaches based on the Shastram only, and the Upadesha comes from the Acharya. The Shastram is the one which is teaching, but through the Acharya. And this Janitam means the one which is born of it, born of this teaching. And what is born of the teaching? Atma Pratyayakam Jnanam. This Atma Pratyayakam is the one which is called direct realization or Akandakara Vritti. Atma Pratyayakam Jnanam, that Jnanam is called Chakshus here. Tena Jnana Chakshusha Bhuta Prakriti. So that is one aspect. So coming to the second line, Bhuta Prakriti Mokshancha. Bhuta Prakriti is a compound word. Bhutanam Prakritihi, Bhuta Prakritihi. That is the first compound. Bhutanam Prakritihi. What is that Bhutanam Prakritihi? That is Avidya Lakshana Avyaktakhya. So Avyakta is the Tattva, which is almost same as Mula Prakriti. So Mula Prakriti gives rise to this Avyakta, and Avyakta gives rise to Mahat, and Mahat gives rise to the Panchabhutas and all that. So Avyaktakhya Bhutanam Prakritihi. Tasyaha Bhuta Prakritehe Mokshanam. So for that word moksha here in this shloka, Bhagavad Gita gives the meaning Abhavagamanam. That is, one has to know that it doesn't exist. That is the requirement here. Abhavagamanam. The other schools which will not agree with this meaning, they will say that the jiva gets released from the Prakriti. So first Prakriti was holding the jiva in its grip through this jnana, but now when this wisdom arises, the jiva is released from Prakriti. They will not say that the Prakriti is rendered unreal. Only in Advaita we do say that, because the tattva is that only one tattvam is real and nothing else can be there apart from this tattvam. So that of course is very clearly stated in this Gita itself. In the second chapter, for example, the 16th shloka, Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayorapi drashtavantas tvanayoho tattvadarshibhihi. So there in the shloka, Bhagavan says that for tattva-jnanam, there are two things required. And that is two things constitute tattva-jnanam. That has to be stated there. In the same way here also, two things constitute tattva-jnanam. And one thing is that the knowledge that na asataha vidyate bhavaha, that is asat, that is non-existent, that is something that which is distinct from Sat Brahman. It doesn't have existence at all. So that is one requirement. Other requirement is that Sat will never go out of existence. So these two are the ones which the Tattva-jnani has. So Tattva-jnanam means these two, and that's what's stated in this 16th shloka. The same thing, mirror shloka is this shloka, that is the last shloka of this 13th chapter, in different phraseology, that's all. So kshetrajnyo, so here kshetram means asat, and kshetrajna is that sat of the 2.16. So here Bhagavad Pada says, Bhuta Prakriti Moksham cha, Bhutanam Prakritihi, that is asat, Avidya Lakshana, Avyaktakhya, Tasyaha Bhuta Prakritehe Mokshanam Abhavagamanam. So this Prakriti does not have existence in all three periods of time. So Abhavagamanam, Icha Ye Viduhu. So this also has to be known. And the one who knows these two, that is the one who knows that he is the consciousness principle, and he also knows that this inner principle does not exist at all. So these two are the constituents of this knowledge. Ye Viduhu Vijananti, Ayanti Gachanti Te Param Paramatma Tattvam Brahma. So they attain to Brahman. So attaining means it's not going from one place to another. It is realizing oneself as this Paramatma Tattvam Brahma. So Brahma Jnanam, Brahma Avagatihi, or Brahma Praptihi, all these are one only in Advaita. It is not that first he knows and then he goes to some place. No, that's not the idea. So Paramatma Tattvam Brahma. Na punaha deham adadate itathaha. So what it means is, he, after having gained this knowledge, he will never come to become embodied. So even now he is not embodied actually. He is under the illusion that he is embodied, and that illusion goes through this knowledge, and the possibility of this embodiment is totally ended because of this realization. So with this, the 13th chapter ends. Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Sri Govinda Bhagavat Puja Pada Shishyasya Srimad Shankara Bhagavat Padaha Kritau Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhashya Trayodasha Adhyaya. This Adhyaya itself is called Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. So Kshetra and Kshetragna, that Vibhaga has been taught here in this. The separating the Kshetragna from the Kshetra has been taught in detail. So with this, we end this chapter with the Bhashyam. If there is any question pertaining to this chapter, it can be taken up if there is time, of course.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Here, Jnana Chakshusha, Kshetra Kshetrajnyoreva Antaram Jnana Chakshusha. Is it same as the Anye Sankhya Yogena? See, in the previous sloka, Dhyanena Atmani Pashyanti Kechidatmanam Atmana Anye Sankhya Yogena Karma Yogena Chapare. So here the Sankhya Yoga is mentioned. Here Jnana Chakshusha is mentioned. Are they both same, or is there any difference?
No, actually all the methods stated in that sloka, that is Dhyanena Atmani Pashyanti. So person who comes to the understanding or the realization of what is Atman and naturally what is Anatman, that and the realization he comes to through the method of dhyana, and other is the Sankhya Yoga. Then another one is the Karma Yoga and all that. And the fourth one also was stated that a person who doesn't know any of this, who simply believes in what the teacher or guru tells him, and he carries it out. So this is the same method. This Jnana Chakshus is the one which is gained by dhyana. By that adhikari, a person who is fit for not fit for dhyana but who is fit for Sankhya Yoga, he also gets the same knowledge. So the destination is the same, but the method alone is different here.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So with this we end this session. Shastram Shariram Imamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma Janmani Vidyavinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidushekara Bharatim. Om Tat Sat.